Hello and welcome to Taurean Tarot. In today's video, I am creating a visual journal entry, the 4-card spread that I did for the foundation of my root chakra. I'll go ahead and link that video so that you can get a little more context on that. But for the purposes of this video, the idea of the 4-card spread was to get some information from the tarot to see what I needed to do to strengthen the foundation of my root chakra. So in that reading, I pulled the Chariot, which is what you see me working on here, trying to figure out what shape that I want to represent that Chariot. And I pulled the 2 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. For the 4th card, we used the significator card that we chose for our root chakra. And that for me was the Knight of Pentacles. So you're going to see all 4 of those cards represented in this drawing. It ends up being a very simplistic drawing, but at least has the symbols of those 4 cards. I wanted to start out with the Chariot not only because it was the first card that I drew, but also because that's going to be the carrier of the other tools that I need to move forward in strengthening my foundation. So I wanted to make sure that that was a main feature. And I thought, what better way to incorporate all of those symbols than by having the Chariot carrying those other symbols. So I have the Chariot sketched out here. I'm going to start adding in those other symbols. So right now you'll see me sketching out a sword, which ultimately ends up being 2 of Swords to represent that card. And now I'm starting to sketch in a helmet to represent the Knight of Pentacles. I didn't want this to be a literal translation of the reading, so I just pulled symbols from each of the cards to make sure that they were represented. So I finished up the helmet there. Now I'm going to be sketching in a sack that is going to hold all 9 of those cups. Again, I didn't want to be literal, so I didn't want to just have 9 cups spilling out of the Chariot. So instead, I decided to do it as though they packed them up and they're carrying them on their journey. So I just have a few cups peeking out of the top of the sack there, just so that they're represented and I know that the rest of them are in there. And again, the Chariot is going to be the movement towards that 9 of Cups, which is happiness. So I don't have all 9 of my cups fully yet. I'm working towards that, and I'm trying to embrace that energy so that I can strengthen my foundation. So that's another reason why I didn't have all 9 showing just yet. I have to dig deeper in order to get to those other 6 cups. So now I begin outlining the drawing. See, I'm struggling a little bit with the wheel. Circles really are not my friend, so I always end up with jagged lines and thicker lines on there. I try to take my time on that. Now I'm outlining the Chariot. And this time, instead of using my micron, I'm using a black Sharpie pen just to try something different. They work pretty well. I think outlining is one of my favorite parts because that's when you really get to see your drawing start to come to life. And it's fun watching the transformation from a sketch to the outline. And I just did a quick fade so that you didn't have to sit there through the entire thing. So now I'm starting to add color. Again, I'm using those Spectrum Noir alcohol markers, coloring in the wheel. And you're going to see another fade here in a moment, so you don't have to watch me color in the entire wheel. Just getting that foundation in. So the wheel's done, and I'm using those same browns to go in and color that sack. Using the darker brown to add in some shadows and creases, just to add a little depth and a little texture, so that it's not just a plain sack in the chariot. Because even though these are simple drawings, I still want them to have detail. And I went in with a gold color to color in those cups. Now I'm going in with a gray to color in the swords. And again, I want them to have a little bit of depth, so I'm trying to figure out where I want the shadows and the highlights for it. So I'm going in with a lighter gray just to finish up the color. And I'm going to use those same grays to color in the helmet of the knight. I really like how the helmet turned out. The card in the Rider-Waite Smith deck does have a red feather in there, which works out perfectly because I want the root chakra to be represented in all these drawings. So to have a red element in there was really important for me. And I'm just finishing up the helmet for the knight by adding in a pentacle. So instead of having the entire thing silver, I just went in with that gold color and colored that in and added just a hint of the pentacle to make sure that that was represented. And now I'm going in with this royal blue to color in the chariot. I wasn't sure what color I was going to go with originally, but went in a more artistic approach to this when choosing the blue because I wanted to have some contrast. And I'm really happy with the color choice. I think it really pops off the page and allows the other symbols to pop out as well. I also thought the blue was a good choice because in a lot of my readings I'm finding that I have a lot of work to do in my throat chakra to help strengthen my foundation and to strengthen my root chakra in general. So to have that blue to represent the throat chakra I think was important as well. And for the background, I'm trying something new. It's these pastel palettes. I got them in an art subscription box I subscribed to years ago, and you know, I love working with pastels, but I never tried these out, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't because these are absolutely amazing. So I'm glad that I finally tried them. You'll see me working with them a lot in the next few videos. I think it's so much easier than struggling with a marker to color in an entire background, and as you can see, the pigment on them is fantastic. They're very vibrant, they spread easily, and I wanted the background to have some texture with it being such a simple drawing, which is why I had originally picked those pastels so I could create that texture. But I was not expecting these results, and I ultimately chose the yellow for an artistic point of view, just so that those other colors could pop off the page, which I think they really do. So even though this is very simple, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it got the idea of that 4-card spread out in a very simplistic way, and it'll be easy for me to go back into my journal and see, oh yeah, okay, so for the 4-card spread, I picked the Chariot, the 2 of Swords, and the 9 of Cups with that Knight of Pentacles at the end there. So this is what it turned out to be. I'll give you a closer look there. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And in the next video, we're going to continue with journal entries for the foundation of my root chakra. And we're going to see a visual representation of the affirmation that I wrote using these 4 cards. So if you want to know when that goes up, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you are notified when that goes live. And until then, take care and be well.